Hi everyone. I just wanted to pop in with a quick message, I think. As I was watching my friend Kerry Kay on YouTube with some legendary tips and offerings from Spirit to remind us of the upgrades that we're going through. And over and over, certain people, a lot of people who are on this alignment trek, which all of us are at varying degrees of allowing our highest intelligence, like our highest allowance of perceptive awareness of what's going on. So Kerry often opens up different aspects for me, and so it just reminded me from her 9 awareness tips on the upgrades that wouldn't it have been good if we knew from birth to where we are now that we were an unfoldment path, and that the path was huge, not just directly in front of us with our immediate families? Wouldn't it be, and also this comes from the Native American YouTube channel that I've found today and going to continue following, that it's obvious we walk a path, and we've been caught up in the control illusion we've been born into. So wouldn't it be good if we were reminded with the wisdom of the Native Americans that, I'm not sure if they use this word, but an unfoldment, that not to get too stuck or caught up in particular parts of the path, and that to embrace emotion and find the friend within in the emotion, so that we can still love ourselves and not follow the feeling down into as though we're going into a deep dark well of despair. You know what emotion can do at its most intimate. It can take us down as though we're one with it. But if there was light, which is what we're going through now, waking up to this truth, if there was light awareness that knew then what we're now learning now to say to us, and there has been bits and pieces, obviously, because we are all here, whoever's here on the planet, knowing underneath in this unfoldment that something better was going to happen. The only thing is we didn't realize our strong part in it is that we are one with it. Instead, we were born into the illusion that the density with mentality or emotion and stuckness and staying the same and things should be a certain way, it's like had us bundled up in that, when the truth is life is about expansion of the universe. We are a part of that. We are an unfoldment on a well expansive designed path. And the miracle for us is that we get to come here and make intricate choices, but we must also let our heart sort of rise up to, we're not just doing this to get by. We're not just doing this to make the most in a lifetime to do with particular construct. You know, like I don't know about anyone else, but if we really think about it, there is a trapping feeling to, you grow up, you meet someone, you have children, you have a house, you have a job, you save, retire, maybe holiday somewhat. Okay, there is a particular illusory construct where we stay in this fishbowl kind of awareness, and we kind of every now and then tap on that fishbowl because something inside of us says, I gotta break out of this. There's more than this. I am sure of it. I can feel it. Sometimes I can sense it. This can't just be all there is. And it's because we've been in that kind of illusory awareness. So this hopefully really grounds for some listening to this that we can't escape the energetic realm, that which we are, and just go back to ordinary life as though minute by minute or day by day we just stay this way. This is why we're so scared of change, because we weren't told from a young age, like I feel the Native American natural nature awareness does in such a simplistic natural way. It says to you, just like the wind, it says to you, just hold on. Don't get stuck in these things. Life changes. But in our mentality construct, we don't listen to that. We're hardly connected with nature, only somewhat. And so there is a lot to be said to just do your best to feel as often as you can one with land. Okay, because there's something else that wants to speak to us, through us, and is in us. And I keep coming back to the visual of the Taurus energy field that protects, loves, connects the heaven and earth, divinity. And we are like that too. So if you're not feeling like an awareness that you're connected to your planet and you're in this flow, you take your time, you do some breath work or whatever, like meditation, creative, where your homeostasis of your functioning, that balance, where you're feeling that flow, you're able to do things naturally, you can look outside the box, you don't mind connection, there's a natural fear awakening element, but we have given in the construct and the squashed down feeling in a lot of us that we should and must conform to lower than what we really truly are. So if we could really, from the solar plexus, like the nature of the sun rising for our planet, we working with that cycle, remember that change is so natural. No 2 days are the same. And life is an unfoldment so that we don't fight change. Because there is something bigger supporting us. We need to fall into and let go of. So you can call it resignation or surrender, but you're falling into the arms and hands of truth, of your divine nature. So you're not losing anything. You're accepting the wholeness of your being. Okay, give it a chance, give it an opportunity, make it your medicine. It's like no one's taking from you and you're not having to give too much. You're simply just accepting there's this bigger natural cycle, and humans on this planet have been living in that itty bitty tiny construct. that's the truth of the matter, that I die so hard in myself to keep unfolding in my path to explain, but to be an example of one with. Okay, it's not something you can see. You have to listen, pick up in this field of all of us being here as to what resonates true for us, and allow this change and step into change. Just allow, work with, and start to familiarize your self-construct as to how you actually deal with that. Like, if you are, I don't know, asked to do something different or called to do something different, does a wall come up in front of you? Does it come up like, do you feel like no freaking way? Or do you just hold back, take in some sort of depth consideration that life is asking you to change? And this is in all the little intricate layers that we get stuck in our solar plexus, stopping us from rising with our true light. Like, it can come up at all different times. You know, old stories and patterns. So, getting some vaster awareness and grounding in the fact, the true fact, that we are one with nature. And so we are not meant to be a limited construct. Does any nature truly, really limit itself? Only in the space that we offer it at times. Nature can be limited. And a lot of the time. Which is a clear sign how we limit ourselves. You know, let's just easily chop down all this nature without even a freaking thought. And let's put up cities. I've got nothing against cities, but it's how we go about our construct of living that I step back and take a look at how we're all functioning. If there was true consideration to keep the natural cycle there and involve some, you know, smaller or closer proximity living quarters in cities or business space. But we can't forget that we're not separate. So let's just get rid of that, and we'll just do this all the time in the mindset. And then, you know, you will have discrepancies within your own construct, because we're not concrete buildings. We're not meant to be in boxes all day. And we're not meant to box ourselves in through life's experience that asks us to change. Now, I feel like there's endless opening for this topic. But for now, I'll take a little break from it. And yesterday's card introduced new love, which can mean the vast array of that. People in your life, persons in your life, you in your life. So new loves for you. Are you still allowing a new love in for the excitement or creativity or change element, or just instigating excitement and joy in a child? So yeah, it is a romantic based card to do with relationships and instigating that, But I just don't want us to forget that if we're not loving ourselves into like allowing joy and love for ourselves and things we love to do, then we're not going to, that card won't relate romantically, essentially. Because it is the love element that attracts another. You know, it's the resonance of who you are being able to be free enough. So we do attract relationships from whatever resonance we're at the time. So whatever that card means for you, whatever it's highlighting. But today let's move on to an animal spirit card. For remembering our natural unfoldment and being brave enough that when we're called forth in any way, that we actually ask ourselves in the moment, do I need to be afraid? And you're asking your inner guidance, your inner well, and that is connected to all your higher guidance system. They're one with your inner well. So when the person stops and says, can I share myself here, or do I need to be afraid? Actually listen to your inner well and wait for its resonance. And at the same time, you're sort of grounding that, I'm waiting for that resonance. Also at the same time, allow in any higher guidance support. So you're not in some kind of struggle with yourself and go on with the same patterns around the heart, throat area that blocks you from something important or something you could learn, or a message delivered from someone in your current awareness field, life experience. So I will shuffle. My deck always likes to split. Wants me to get the card from the split. And we got ants again. Ant spirit. Time to collaborate. So probably where we may have held ourselves back from this collaboration, be brave to show up for yourself if it's something repeating. And it's a number 1 card. Let's have a little read of it, although I have read through this one before. When Ant Spirit comes to visit, it's to celebrate the benefits of working in a partnership with others as part of a community or tribe. Spirit reminds you that to build your dream, you need to work with others, accept help, and trust in your most important partnership, the one you have with Spirit. Your intentions will come to fruition if you remain awake and focused on co-creating your reality with others and with Spirit. Remember that the world around you can easily seduce you if you don't have some sort of practice or discipline like meditation to keep you on track as you build the life you desire. Connecting with others. Now, building the life you desire, I just want to remind us from back at the start of that, our most important relationship is the one we have with Spirit. So our internal spirit, allowing it to listen to it, the human listens, the ego listens, and allow Spirit assistance. So don't think you're alone in that. Like you're actually got to get stuck in a cycle of, I've got to know the best answer, and I should know the best answer, and we have to let go of that, because that is a blocking energy of our expression. So when you're trying to create the life that you desire, it's got to come from that you, human, ego, like personality we are in the world, has to also create that true life we desire by letting ourselves out. So, you know, we really can befriend ourselves a hell of a lot more in like a beautiful, natured, responsive, and unfortunately to some in this world, and as was for myself, taking yourself from a stimulus mindset into an inner development of trust and clarity, of like growth in this clarity, you got to accept that it's going to be completely opposite. But spirituality doesn't have to be boring. Just because it needs your quiet attention, just make sure you do your sitting. Make sure it's in somewhere where you can just relax and gaze at something that you like. If that's nature, if that's a picture, if that's just a comfy spot to just be away from the stimulus of the world, then we need to engage in that as though it's natural nature, true energetic, supportive growth to develop living from our true self to create those lives we truly desire in all of our uniqueness, not in our rushedness to get what we want from out there. Because out there is a given, but it's the internal that we want to bring out. For that, supportive, so spiritual, like seeing, and us going and feeling that we can maintain this flow and consistency and consistent vibration, that we stand up for that. That this world doesn't rule us. If it does somewhat feel like that, when we say things to ourselves like, I can't get what I want. Well, that means you're more consumed out there in getting it than you are in what your spirit and soul is wanting to assist you to see and do and be. So you can see how it's like a calm nature foundation built on solid divinity assisting us, and our spiritual awareness that that is divinity. So that is fluid in nature, it is vibrational, but we're here having this physical experience, but it is still vibrational in nature. So we have to ground that we are vibrational in nature. So both are happening at the same time. Okay, but we get lost in the solid nature of it. And if we want our solid nature to look better or have more, or I don't know, be seen as something, we think it's in the solid nature out there already created, and we draw it in from that, in that way. So solid, how do I get that solid? Okay, but nature grows from the natural flow of divinity. So it's like that torus that surrounds the earth. Well, that's the same as us. Don't forget you are in flow. So you must embrace this flow aspect of your spiritual soul energy unfoldment. Okay, and then you start to look at life differently, but not without that solid grounding like a stem. That yes, I am here to do particular things of my enjoyment, but I don't do it by taking my stem into the world and saying, could you put a bloom on this, please? Or I want that particular bloom. You are becoming it. So it is a firm stance, like a disciplined remembering that you are one with a whole being of self, a whole being of this spiritual nature planted here for now awareness. And this is your natural growth. So you can't just have the illusion of solid and stimulus world and that's it. Okay? You must remember there is this flow. Connecting with others and having accountability partners can be very helpful, as it's unlikely that everyone will fall asleep at the same time. That reminds me of something else I want to talk about. That when we talk about awakening, we already, in the unfoldment of our seed, we are that bloom in unfolding. So when we talk about awakening, it's not awakening to something only just out there. It is just, don't forget that we are it already in unfoldment. So keep allowing yourself to unfold and not the world to make you think it's a certain way. The other message Ant Spirit holds is that you are now at an auspicious time to ask for help and receive it. Whether you need help assembling a team, finding a new tribe, or requesting assistance from others who are there for you. Everything is working to support you right now. Protection message. So this is a divine protection message. This is not put up your guard, this is what you need to do, which is another thing Carrie reminded me of before. That we are like so used to guarding ourselves off from life, like with this give and take sort of pull in the world and relationship and who's got more and whatnot. We put up these guards. So we actually block ourselves off from this whole like divinity, temporary life experience and think it's just so permanent and we're fighting each other in it. You know, so we have to drop these guards. So this is a spiritual protection message from the ants as one with that flow. Do you really believe that you have to do everything yourself? Do you believe that somehow any help you get will be disappointing or not good enough? So drop the judgment of that. Perhaps it is time to address your issues of control and bias toward the negative. So leaning toward the negative, that things can't work out for you, that life isn't meant to work out for you. Just because it may not have worked out for you before doesn't mean that life doesn't offer you things that will work out. Do you believe that somehow any help you get will be disappointing or not good enough? Perhaps it is time to address your issues of control and bias toward the negative. It doesn't matter where or why you came to be pessimistic or mistrustful. The fact that Ant Spirit is showing up now is a sign that you have an opportunity to heal and to relearn to trust that others will show up for you in a genuine way. Ant Spirit wants you to remember that your expectations and limiting beliefs are a vibrational offering that draws in the opposite of what you desire. Spirit wants to help you and will send collaborative partners your way. It's time to see the universe as conscious and connected, loving and helpful, but you must participate in this activity of co-creation. Creating reality is not just about dreaming. If you are feeling orphaned from community, reach out and communicate. If you feel vulnerable, know that being present in your vulnerability can help you draw in someone who wants to assist you. Trust in your partnership with Spirit, and your outer conditions will start to reflect that. Then you will see the miracles waiting for you. including partners who appear ready to lend a hand. Gorgeous. Thank you, ant spirits. Yet again, free little things they are. And you could liken us to that in this wide, vast universe. So listen to that again if you feel called to remind yourself that, you know, yeah, of all the wonderment involved in the ant spirit reminder. I'm going to leave it at that. God bless everyone. I think I got that message out. Take pauses and love yourself, your life, and really go within to feel the appreciation of all you truly have. Don't let the speed of life construct your mind to fit. Go from the fitting is from who I am becoming from within. Much love. God bless. See you all again soon. Bye for now.